All right, good morning, traders. Welcome to the official Trade Talk channel where I show you how I analyze price for the most consistent and higher probable entries to help you all become better traders. Today's video, we're going to be taking a look at Ethereum. We're going to watch Bitcoin. We're going to look at some other assets. We're going to be live all the way until 9:30, which is the New York stock market open. First thing we're going to talk about is Ethereum right now because Ethereum is bullish today. If we go over here to the CMEs and take a look at it, you're going to see that there are two descending triangle channels, or whatever you want to call them, trend lines. This trend line, this bottom trend line, is the one that we currently have on price on the spot market. And then this other trend line here, you can see that you're kind of fighting it right now. You're into two major areas of supply. You're into daily supply, which is the chart that we have up on right now, and then you're also into 8-hour supply as well. You got 2 hours and 24 minutes left on that 8-hour closure, but what we're currently watching for the near term is hourly resistance. As you can see, this top trend line coming in right there at hourly resistance. We did make a fresh high of day. This candle right here, this wick is your high of day. That price is 1662 spot 50. If you look at this wick right here, you're going to see 1664 spot 0. So just by a couple bucks, you have made a fresh high of day, and you are currently getting a bearish reaction. So hourly resistance, you have 15 minutes until the close. This is a little bit lagged up, as I don't have the data package for this. But if you look at spot, you're going to see 13 minutes, 42 seconds left on the close. If you close above this line right here, 1666.75, that is your line in the sand. A closure above that means we have to wait on the next hourly candle to see if that is just going to be a bull trap, or are we looking as price wants to potentially roll over here. Typically, I do not like taking shorts when an asset is bullish on the day, but you are into two key regions, right? Being 8-hour and daily supply. You're above 8-hour supply here, and you did close the spot market above it. So typically this means that, you're probably going to be looking for a resistance test. And then as you can see right there is going to be daily resistance. It is a pretty good size expansion on the daily. Yesterday was, it had a little bit of a move. So what we're seeing here is you have broken out of this downtrend area. On your RSI, you are holding above 50 on daily closing basis, and you can see yesterday you did close above the 21. This is typically when we start to change our biases, our near-term bias from bearish to bullish, as you have broken out essentially. But we do know that traps exist, and since we are into a high area of, let's just say, people are watching it, we're going to keep an eye on it. I wouldn't necessarily say take the entry just yet, as you just made a fresh high of day on this candle here. So this bearish or slight bearish reaction isn't much. It's only going on the 5-minute time frame. This is when you made the fresh high of day, and you can see that you did get this reaction right here. And typically when you make a fresh high of day, that's where the orders are as far as short sellers. Anybody who took a short position on this, based on this structure on the intraday time frame, they would trail their stop there. And as you can see, it did look like you were going to get a downside move, but then right back up we go, boom, hit the high of day, and then we pull back just slightly. So doesn't quite look like it wants to go lower just yet, and everything else is kind of doing the same thing. Bitcoin currently up on the day 0.53%. You are at monthly support. This is monthly support right here. That line right there. If you go out to the daily time frame, you can clearly see that you are wedging up. So I don't typically trade trend lines, right? It's not the trend lines that I'm watching. It's actual price areas where we can see that reactions are happening. But monthly support is currently holding right now. You are 6 days into this new monthly range. On Bitget is the platform which we take our day trades on when we are trading crypto. This is a commercial. They do pay me, so it is an affiliate link. If you want to trade on Bitget, use my affiliate link code XTSC. when you transfer money over, or if you're taking cryptos from cold storage, moving it over there. Just use that, if you don't mind, use that affiliate link. All right, moving on. So right now, that price that we are currently watching is on the Bitget exchange, 1665 spot 98. 1665 spot 98. That is where you are watching, and we are watching hourly closures around that level. As long as Bitcoin is trading above the open, it could still be bullish. You did take out yesterday's high. All right, so you know what that means. Yesterday, you did close below support, not the main support that we were watching, but any bearish close, any bearish daily close is support until you close under it. You can see here on this candle, you tested under it but closed above it. Then you got a bullish reaction. Not quite a bullish engulfing, but it was a bullish reaction candle. Yesterday was the holiday. You closed under support, and then you currently have taken out the highs. So it does look structurally like Bitcoin wants to go higher. So if you are bullish on Bitcoin, the price that you will be looking for entries will be close to the open of the day, and that is $19,794.58. My stogie went out. All right, so that's that. That's what we're currently watching. Remember, this structure is bearish on Bitcoin. You have not gotten above the 50 on the RSI. You are well under and very far away from the 21 exponential, which is coming in here at the top of your screen, that yellow line. Typically, we don't like the short markets that are extremely low from this, because we know that price action oscillates. It goes up, it goes down. It doesn't trend in one straight line always. You can see we've been sideways for a couple weeks here, and your trend, or this moving average is well above price. So price could pop back up to that, and currently you're already above that on Ethereum, right? So that has to count for something. The dollar has currently broken out. You are getting a bullish reaction. Yesterday, you took out the previous breakout day's high. You traded that back down, but closed at support. Support, remember, bearish closing dailies. That is support. You opened at support. You dropped below support, and you are currently getting that whipsaw motion back to the upside. It has been very choppy and very difficult to trade this asset. Yesterday morning, we did look at a potential short entry on two assets. We were watching Euro USD, and we were also watching oil. I do not trade oil. I am not allowed to trade CFDs in America, which I think is a stupid law, but it is what it is. It is the law. This was the area that we were watching for potential short entries, with the caveat that we were trading on very extreme low volume, and it was a holiday. So the New York session, or the New York seller traders, were not trading essentially, and it did not work. Right there would have been your first instance to let you know that the short trade more than likely wasn't going to work. You traded on up, made a fresh daily high, and instantly reversed, and now you are bearish on the day. All right, this candle here is your open. You just took out the low of day. That means you made a fresh low of day, making a high of day, a fresh high of day. Then a few hours later, coming down and making a fresh low of day is not bullish. All right. Let me get over here so I can make sure everything's moving on just correctly as it should be. Everything looks good. Perfect. Beautiful. So it's not typically bullish, but if you reject down here, if you cannot get any bearish continuation, it could eventually entice buyers to come back in. Ethereum is currently testing that level again. This is the level of which that would be the area of which where you would want to take a short entry if you had a bearish bias. You can see that on your point of control, which is your volume profile. You are trading just under that resistance. So a lot of people are putting orders in here. We don't know if it's buying or selling. And even if we did know if it was buying or selling, it would not matter, because of, markets are going to move wherever the majority of the order flow goes. So if people are buying this, we can tell this is Coinbase's data feed, so this volume will be different across other asset or other exchanges, but you can clearly see here 9,574 Ethereums traded at this price on the buy side. Currently on the sell side, 8,700. So the buy side is, as of right now, kind of beating. Please do not do this as a trader. Please do not buy high of day. This is the high of day. This is your daily range expansion. Right here at 2000 hours is the daily open. So you are trading at the high of day. This is a pattern that looks like it does want to break out. So we are currently exercising caution. We obviously can't take any buy positions here because you've already broken out. You've already been trending to the upside for 3 solid days. So buying up there, not really the best trade in the world. Remember, we do not know what the market's going to do ever. We cannot see into the future. So taking trades, when I take an entry, it does not mean that I know where price is going to go. It is simply that I am taking an entry at a high probable area. It does not always work. I do get stopped out. All right. If you are going to take any entries with me today, you must pay attention to how much money you are risking, because risk is what you can lose. I never want you to take a trade and expect how much money you can win. I only want you to pay attention to how much money you can lose, as that is the secret to becoming a profitable trader. Managing your downside risk. I don't calculate what my potential profits are. I always only calculate what I stand to lose. All right? 1 to 2% on crypto, never above 1% on Forex, because it's, well, let's be honest, the hardest market to trade. It doesn't trend that often. There is no current entries on Forex this morning. There wasn't many at all. Euro USD is currently bearish on the day. That is because the dollar is moving up. As you can see, pound dollar has been excruciatingly bearish because retail keeps trying to pick the bottom. So you get bearish continuation, as the markets tend to try to hurt the most people possible. And right now, more people are trying to catch the bottom of the market. So they're trying to get long. This white line down here is all-time lows on this asset, pound dollar. If you look at the quarterly chart, you can see that it has been trending in one direction and one direction only since its inception, and that is lower. All right, there's a lot of things going on. Let's go talk about the oil trade that we talked about yesterday, and I will go over it briefly, and then we'll get back over to the Ethereum to see if it wants to continue higher or not. It is currently trying to break out. Remember, we are looking for short entries, but we're doing it with a lot of caution because it is bullish. So yesterday on crude oil, we were watching the previous day's high, This was the day that we were looking for short entries on it. Basically, because we had this move lower, you traded up into supply. That is where we typically look to execute a short position, even if the market's bullish. And as you can see here above the 21, it was bullish. But you did get that bearish reaction, and on this day here, you broke down below support, meaning that there was a potential to see downside continuation. Now, breakout traders like to take that entry there, and then most of the time they will place their stop above that daily high. That gives them a range or a target, down to around 81 bucks. But what happened instead was you traded all the way up and smoked their stops. And then the very next day, you did the same thing. So yesterday during the community live stream, I was talking to everybody saying, this is the level at which I would take the short trade. I would wait for price to break back down under this price. Once you get back under that price, wherever the high of day is, that's where you would place your stop loss. And I put this entry together like this. Basically, this is what we were looking for. That would have been the stop loss. This would have been the entry. And then you're only ever looking for a 2-to-1 risk to reward. And you can see right there on that candle, you blasted right down through your profit target. At that point, you would then take 2/3 of the position off, move your stops to break even. This way you control your risk in the market. You no longer have any risk left on the market. You're essentially trading with unrealized P&L. That is what you're risking. And it's always good to be risking unrealized profit because that means it's profit. You've already got paid for the trade, right? So that's what happened on oil. You can see that it is continuing lower. That was the price to watch. That was the entry. It was a fantastic entry. We are currently looking for something similar to that on Ethereum, right? We know that it is bullish, and we know that bullish trends tend to continue because people are always trying to pick the tops. Retail loves to pick the tops and the bottoms. Typically, I wouldn't be trying to take this short entry, but if you can't close above that, I like it because you just made a fresh high of day, and that suggests that people were waiting for the stops to be ran before they took their short entries. I do like Ethereum for the short better than Bitcoin because, well, Bitcoin is still trading inside of a wedge. So it makes it a little bit difficult to take bearish entries on Bitcoin all the way down here. And another thing that we got to keep our minds on, people are shorting Bitcoin. They are buying puts. You did get a put to call ratio spike. That means people are expecting a bearish September. Probabilities dictate that Septembers are usually bearish. There's only been 3 bullish Septembers in all of Bitcoin's history. So, and all the other ones were bearish. So people like to take bearish entries expecting downside to continuation in September. If we go down here to the short liquidations, you're going to see that people are shorting the lows. All right, stop doing that. Here was where people got short. This little spike here, this white line, that's just a daily move to the upside. Look at that short liquidation. A $14 million spike in short liquidations. This means people are selling the lows. If you sell the lows, then price is generally going to start to trend to the upside. Open interest, even though we are trading on the lows, we were trading on the highs up here. Remember that? Open interest did not drop with this big downside move in price. Open interest is still trending at the same direction, even though you liquidated a ton of shorts. $155 million worth of shorts you liquidated on this move here. You did not get a drop in open interest. So this leads me to believe that the risk or the liquidations is to the upside. Since open interest is not moving at all, even though we had a very big down move in price, we can expect price to potentially start to trade higher, looking for a liquidation, right? Looking for the liquidations. Once you get that big drop in the open interest, then the short positions will begin to build again if people are expecting lower prices. I can't short Bitcoin down here, right? So the only thing I could do is wait for a liquidation to the downside, look to buy that if we got that liquidation. Right now, this is where the liquidation would be. It is 2 weeks ago's low. That low. You can see how price for the last 4 to 5 days have been trading down there, but not getting there. If there was a ton of liquidations to happen under that line, price would get there. It's struggling to get there. So to me, this tells me that, yes, we know people are shorting it, but price isn't breaking down. So we have to be very cautious for the downside. If you want to look for shorts at 21,385. That is going to be daily supply. If you break out and take out this high, your trend will have changed back to the upside because you will have taken out the last swing high. You will have a higher high. So then in order for that trend to continue, we'd need to see a pullback, see a higher low submitted and hold, and then boom, you're another expansion to the upside. So currently, Bitcoin isn't tradable to me, whereas Ethereum is, right? Ethereum is currently broken out. I don't know if I can look at all this data on Ethereum or not. Probably I could. Let me see here. Yeah, I can. Let me see here. Let's see what we got going on. Same thing. Big move to the downside. Not liquidating many people here. Even though you had a big downside, your open interest is still up. This is still on Bitcoin. You did get a slight spike in short open interest. Or, puts. That doesn't mean they're buying puts. It just means open interest. They could be selling puts as well, which would be the trade on Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin cannot break down, so sell puts. 19,125-ish area. 19,125 puts you down in here. And if you're looking just to exacerbate or make money basically from selling premium, you would also want to sell calls probably above that for a couple weeks. I'd say it takes a couple weeks to break up or down either way. But that trade would have been over here. It's not now. This pattern is going to resolve itself one way or the other pretty soon, more than likely. All right, you've went nowhere. The monthly on Bitcoin of as far as August looks pathetic. There's July, then August, right back down to support. Your September trade is right here. That is your entire monthly candle. All right. This is where the halving is going to be. So you potentially have sideways to bearish up and down markets all the way to there at least. We know that in Bitcoin's past, right? That's typically what it does. It puts in big badass bullish uptrends for a long time, then has usually a couple years of bearishness. And you're very, very, very early on into this bear market. November 21st. So you're not even a year into it yet. Next month will be that. Nope, next month's October, sorry. 2 more months, you'll be a year into this bear market. So, and you've liquidated most of the stuff to the downside. If you can't close September under this, then it looks like it wants to go up. So the longer term traders, my swing traders out there, you would typically be looking for bullish entries here. You are 6 days into it. We have a lot of data coming out in the form of basically every central bank in the world is about to do a rate decision. So you're probably going to see quite a bit of volatility in September, but historically it is the month where the less volume is traded, right? Just because we do have a lot of central bank meetings, we got FOMC, we are watching CPI and a few other data points. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get big reactions. Friday, we did take a trade during NFP. We did take the trade on Ethereum, and it ended up working out really good. This was the Friday, traded up, and then we got that downside move. But you have since rebounded and took out that. So you've already had 3 days of bullishness. That's why I'm trying to potentially look for shorts here. But we did close above this, so it's going to make my short entry a lot less likely at this point, right? Because we have liquidated the swing high for today already. Yeah, put in a fresh daily high. And there's really no other resistance in here. So the only 2 levels we can watch will still be this and then the high of day. If you take out this candle's low, then we can look for a pullback into this area for potential short entries. But as of right now, price is turning to the upside. I don't know why nude HD XYZ bots are coming into trading channels. I guess they don't care what channel, whoever's going live, they're just going to bombard you with bots. Absolutely despise bots. Twitter is full of them. YouTube is full of them. Every internet platform is just full of bots. Good morning, traders. Good morning. Let's smash it. Let's try. We're going to try. We don't always smash it, but we do pretty good when we do. Mad intro track. Yeah, I like that one myself. Good mornings, tons of good mornings. ETH activates Bellatrix upgrade now. Don't know what that means. Maybe you're saying that that's good news for ETH. It obviously has been. Ethereum has been much stronger than Bitcoin. You can just go to ETH BTC and see that, right? Get the 2 assets trading together. This is what you have. Ethereum versus Bitcoin. It is consistently stronger than Bitcoin. Consistently. Ethereum is stronger than Bitcoin, right? You can see that on the chart. It's as simple as that. You are at a potential area of resistance as well, being into weekly resistance. Not quite there, but you will be there in the next couple hours or maybe even tomorrow. But you do have a fresh breakout today. Yesterday you closed above. Today you got continuation. Ethereum is definitely strong. So keep that in mind before you put any risk on in the market. We want price to react at our high probable areas. Then we can basically take our entries. And that still does not guarantee success. It just means that, that would be the area to watch. Oh, another thing that I wanted to show you on Ethereum as far as CME goes, if you pull up the point of control on this, you're going to see something much different. Nope. Now you're back up there. So earlier this morning when I was looking at, before we did a live stream, the point of control was here. right here. So more and more orders are being added. So as of right now, you still currently have point of control at the high of day. So this does mean that people are looking for this asset to roll over. And you, of course, have a lot of people buying, expecting the breakout. I've never been a breakout trader. I could never make anything good happen there. And it's only 8 o'clock. You got a whole another hour and a half, essentially, to go before the New York stock market opens. And that will be the last bulk of volume that we get. So that may be when the trade happens. What's up, Wes? Good morning, Mr. Tom. Cassidy Hurst, yeah, it is. I shorted yesterday afternoon, got a 2-to-1 out of it, and it ripped to the upside. Yep, that's why you take profits. And then Ed says, of course, what is profit? That's a valid question, my friend. I will try to show you. Ed knows. He's been in my Discord for a long time. One of the first. Let me see here. Heath excludes sexiness. That's why they come in here. Oh, Heath exudes. Yeah, maybe. Just from the voice. That's about as far as it goes. My overlords programmed me to say that. Got you. I don't know. I mean, the last time we got bombarded by these bots, you can put them in timeout. They just keep coming. I was supposed to look and see if there was a way I could just kick them, but there isn't. Which is stupid. Anyways, moving on. Ethereum putting in a fresh daily high. So that will absolutely liquidate any shorts thus far this morning. And you do currently have a new resistance to watch. But it looks to me more or less that Ethereum is going to continue to the upside. SPX, look at this down here. You can see that you do have your point of control setting roughly under price. So we look for that to typically be more bullish than bearish. Yesterday, your point of control was mid-range. Yesterday, we were not trading, right? The New York session was not trading. Today, you are getting that bullish continuation from yesterday. But you still, this is Friday's sell-off from NFP. September is a very low volume month, has been forever. So, I mean, yeah, daily ranges are smaller. This is also why you take profits quicker, right? Take profits quicker. What is going on here? Oh, I see what's going on. Alright, so fresh hive day on Ethereum, and you are currently trading above it. So it doesn't look like a short. Not yet. Not yet, it doesn't. I mean, that's a pretty good expansion from yesterday into today, would you say? I mean, just straight up with a couple hours of pullback. And support held. That would have been support, intraday support. And as soon as you took out resistance, you would have pretty much known that you were on the right side of the trade from down there. We don't have any news today. Let me go ahead and get daily effects pulled up over on the other monitor so I can see. I think we have the RBA tonight. Have Bank of Canada tomorrow. Well, it could be tonight. No, September 6th. Yeah, it's the RBA, but that might not affect Bitcoin or Ethereum, right? The Reserve Bank of Australia. It will affect Forex pairs, though, for sure. Man, that's as far as I can see any news that 10 o'clock you got ISM non-manufacturing PMI. That comes out at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that will and can affect price for sure. So 10 o'clock, we do have news coming out. Jesus Christ. Went from 185 to 2.35%. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh. RBA upped rates increase. So that has already happened. It must have been last night. Because there's people are saying that they hiked their rates. I don't see a real big move. I guess it would have been here. Yeah, I mean, the market probably already had that priced in. And that's versus the yen anyways. Let's go see it versus the dollar. Where is it? Nope, I guess it ain't. Let's go here and do it this way then. There we go. That's just dollar strength. It is what it is. The money market is pricing in 4% interest rate hike total here. Apparently, Dow C houses depreciate up to 30%. Yeah, the housing market's taking a bit of a hit. We know that. ETC is a better short. It could be, man. Let's go take a look at it. Oh, geez, yeah. Not right yet. That thing is exploding to the upside. I mean, we have areas of interest. Got weekly res right there. You tagged it once. If you like it for the short, I don't. It's extremely strong. Support is here. So that would have to be the profit target. That would be entry target. Very small range trade. I would probably leave it alone. With Bitcoin going down, I mean, you can look at Bitcoin dominance as well. You're going to see some alts moving to the upside. And that looks like a fresh breakdown on dominance. It is. Not quite at all-time lows yet, but you did take out that swing low. Bitcoin is extremely weak. When dominance heads lower, then that's what people call alt season. So some alts will be stronger than Bitcoin. You will see them moving to the upside. But we are in, you haven't seen dominance this low since 2018. April 2018. Bitcoin's not the favorite anymore, according to dominance, which is just market cap of the whole crypto sphere, by the way. So we can look and see what we got moving up today as far as alts. You got a few of them. CRV pushing to the upside. Remember, if Bitcoin breaks out to the upside, these things are likely to follow, especially with dominance being lower. But they typically do follow the longer term assets or the bigger assets, Bitcoin, Ethereum. They typically trade alike. It's up pretty big on the year. AVAX up big on the day. I was looking at this yesterday for a potential long entry and I did not take it. Just because it is stalling at support, boom. And what else is up? ETH Classic appears to be up highest on the day. This is just assets on Bitget. So your favorite crypto might not be on here. I apologize if it isn't. Since I trade on Bitget, I only trade contracts that I can trade, essentially. And these are all the contracts that they offer. Rune is up 4 point something percent. You got a few assets up higher than 5% on the day. A lot of bullishness across the crypto sphere. I mean, Bitcoin is currently up as well. Oh. My finger gets a little bit crazy. Bitcoin pushing to the upside. Ethereum has made a fresh high of day multiple times. 1, 2, 3, 4 high of day. Fresh high of days. So if you put it on the 5-minute time frame and pull it back here, you can see them all. All four. This was your first high of day. Fresh high of day. Second time. Third time. Fourth time. Multiple attempts at making fresh high of days, and you are currently trading above it. The original. Almost 4% it's up on the day. Big moves. Just block them from the channel. You can hide user on this channel. Click that, right? Don't just put them in timeout. Hide user on this channel. They'll stop posting because it won't do no good. Beautiful. Don't just delete the message. Hide them users. Get rid of these punks. There's so many of them. Beautiful. All right. Holy moly, the bots. Yeah. See, when you guys, whoever, if you own and control bots, shame on you. Shame on you. I get them on Twitter too. Like, I get bots all the time saying, follow this person, they do real good. And then you go to their channel, they got like 10,000 followers and they get like 2 likes per tweet. That's a dead channel or a dead follow. They're just such garbage. I can't get people over on my stuff, so I must spam everybody else's stuff with bots. Doesn't work, right? Engagement is what you need. You need engagement. You can have 150,000 subscribers on YouTube, and if you only get 5 people watching your stuff, you're not going to grow. So bots are useless. Engagement is what you need. Let's go look at Euro as it is currently rejecting the fresh low of day. And since we have risk moving to the upside, the DXY might be looking for a pullback today. I don't know what this is. Does anybody else have that scam wick on their charts? I don't trade the DXY anyway, so it doesn't matter. It's not on the Euro. Not on the Euro. Stream's holding up good. Euro USD back up at the open. Yes, it is. You can see that there. Now it's just under it, but it is struggling to make a fresh daily low. But let's be clear. I mean, it's trading at that region. This typically isn't a bullish signal. When you make a high of day and then instantly make a fresh low of day, that typically, usually, I won't say typically because I don't know the exact specific statistics on it. But typically when I see something like that, I do look for downside continuation. Pound is up really big today. I guess finally it decided to go up. It's been trending lower. You made a fresh high of day. You're rolling over again. Ethereum is pushing up. I mean, it just tagged the high. Bitcoin looking to get back some of this. I don't know what that was. Very choppy price action down here on the lows, guys. Very choppy price action. Monthly support. People are just selling the guts out of that, hoping that is the monthly high. Because that's August's high. This is September's high currently. Right? That's currently September's high. A daily closure above that region would look really good for the potential move to the upside. Remember, most of the open interest is going to be short liquidations, because we've seen the long liquidations slowing way down, even though they are still people shorting the lows. You guys can just keep doing it, man. I'll just keep hiding you. I hope you hit me with every single one of your bots. You'll have to make new ones by the time this stream's over. Biatch. I ain't afraid of you. Took profits on ADA long, so that means it will keep pumping. Yeah, we did take a successful trade on ADA the other day, but it has since been closed out, because basically we were looking to short it, and we did get a short on it right here. It was a decent trade. We pushed down. I woke up and I was significantly into profit. I actually woke up really early that morning, like at 3:30. So I took profits in this region, moved my stop to break even, and I got stopped out on this impulse back to the upside. So yeah, I mean, a lot of alts, they're cruising now. Typically what you want to look for when this is going on is you're typically looking to buy support, right? To stay on the near term side of the trend. But it is in a decent area to look for short entries, right? If the impulse is going to continue, this first initial impulse here, then this would be a region to look for shorts. You're into old support. This is old support. That's why we took the short entry. But with Bitcoin dominance cruising to the downside, alts are pumping. Ethereum, fresh high of day. It's moving to the upside with haste. So we're probably going to leave this one alone. Turn the chat to subscribers only. Good call. I think I used to have it. Boom. Good call. I used to have that situated like that. There's more than one way to skin a bot. Good call, Mr. Ed. All right, so pound dollar looks like it's struggling. Did we even get an entry? No. I mean, we typically did. So we can look for potential short side continuation if it gets back up to there. Which you haven't taken out the low just yet either. So support is currently going to be here. Ethereum is pumping with the dollar pumping. Nice. Dollar's pumping and so is ETH. What's up with that? Ethereum is stronger. That's the obvious scenario you can take away from that. If the dollar stalls out, then Ethereum could get all the way up to 5.5% today. It's probably going to run out of steam sooner or later. Well, so there's a potential long entry here on pound dollar. Let's see here. It's still, so many people are still long. 77%. %80 of clients are net long crude oil. That is why you're getting that downside continuation on oil. There's still 77% of retail clients are net long on pound dollar. But occasionally they are right? Howdy subscribers, yeah. Yeah, the bots are terrible. People will leave based just solely on that. ETH running into weekly supply and daily res. Yeah, we're going to keep an eye on it. That would be a decent spot to take entry as long as we get the rejection. And we would only be looking for a small push lower. We're not looking for fresh low of days, obviously. And at 10 o'clock, we do have potential big news coming up. High impact news event. And that's going to be manufacturing. ISM non-manufacturing, PMI. It's forecasted to be a little bit lower. Previous was 56.7. Forecast is 55.1. Yeah, daily resistance will be a nice spot to look for that reaction. And then weekly is there, just a bit above it. I mean, on the week, it looks good, right? You're getting continuation. It is just Tuesday, though. But you did take out last week's high. Today, you took it out. You stalled at it yesterday. 2-3 days ago, you hit that. And that's where we took the short entry last time. That was on the news. NFP, it was a mixed signal on NFP too. It was both good and bad news. That's why we had a mixed day. Let me turn this fan on. Talking is a very active sport. All right. So yeah, we'll watch daily resistance 1695.27. Still, I mean, if you did take that, it would just be solely based on a bounce trade. You're just looking for that bounce reaction. You hit it and then you get a slight bearish reaction. And you'll be up on the day pretty big at that point as well. And 8:30, so you got an hour and a half before the news comes out. That's today. That's today. Yes, today at 10 a.m. Sorry, 10 a.m. It is a high impact news event. There was a stimmy package for the pound announced today, hence the rally. Gotcha. Found the calendar shared in Discord. Yeah, it's just economic calendar on Forex.com. It's a free website. It's got a lot of good stuff on it for traders. Luna 2. Yeah, it was moving yesterday. We were watching it, but it broke out. We were watching it yesterday, but we didn't like it. And I'll show you why, Joe, in case you are, I think, in the Discord. I'm not sure, but here, let me do it this way, because I didn't save that. I had massive slippage yesterday on Luna 2. Let me find it here. It doesn't have all of them on there now. Yesterday I shared a picture. So let me go in there. Maybe I can find it there. Yeah, here it is. Right here. You see all that slippage? 85 Luna at that price, 94 Luna there, 529 there. This was on one order, and it went much lower. I had like another 12 or 13 entries below that, but this was on one short order, a market order. 331, 590, 77, 7, 219, 840, 791. I mean, that's bad. And that's because there's not a lot of liquidity in it. Because this asset, I mean, it was Luna and it got destroyed. 100% of it almost. And this is something different, I guess. So I would stay away from it based solely on the amount of slippage that you're going to get. Taking orders. Trying to get filled at one specific price. It's not fun. Bitcoin is just not doing anything. Ethereum is now starting to get a little bit of a bearish reaction, not much. This is going to be the new resistance intraday. Still got a ways to go before you're under that. And still, like I said, it's gonna be whatever happens here. DXY is still pumping, so maybe this short on Ethereum will work now. Even though it did not get up to daily resistance. That's where we would love to get it. Euro USD currently pushing lower. I can't short pound even if it does break down here because the trade's already happened. It is still up pretty good, but the trade would have been up here, and you can see there is a trap there. You just closed above. That would have had us not looking for shorts. More or less. SPX is stalling out at supply. If it still closes above this level, though, it still looks okay for like tomorrow, right? But this is still very uber bearish right now. It's bad. That would have been a decent spot to watch. Now you would watch resistance if you think it's going to continue lower. And that right there is going to make, because if you did get this big wick, a fresh high of day into supply, it is going to make your risk a lot higher. Because you would have to get it up above that. Just putting your risk over this resistance here wouldn't really be good enough for me. Ethereum, you can basically risk the high of day. If you take entry anywhere now, from this point until 9:30, you would be risking high of day. If you think it's going to roll over. It's up 8%. But this is a 15-minute lag, 10-minute lag on this. It pushed into daily supply. Yeah, it still might be. I mean, if it gets down there, your risk is going to be very, very big. But this 1 hour push higher could just been that of a stop run. So we'll keep an eye on it. There's nothing to base your order on, no high probable scenario. Nothing. Yeah, not really nothing that I like. And you would only be looking for targets down to here. That would be your target, 1640-ish. So $30 on the trade if it happens. Depending on how big your position size is will determine, obviously, the profit potential. But, I mean, it's bullish. I hate shorting bullish assets. A lot of moves have been happening during the London session. Look at this high of day on Euro. What time? 3 o'clock in the morning. That's an hour after the London session open. I mean, That would have been an easy trade to take. You know it's 3 o'clock. You know it's potential to be the high or low of day. And since it's a high of day, yeah, boom, short, up, risk. And then you made a nice trade. It does look like it's rolling over, so order flow is struggling. And these are the areas where you're looking for short entries. Pepe is joining the show. Pepe is my cat for any new subscribers. If you are new, welcome. Pepe just said welcome as well. You can see that you haven't taken out this swing high yet, so the risk is still kind of to the downside, even though you are trading above the 21 exponential, even though you are very bullish. If this day like closes lower and then tomorrow you get a pullback, as long as it maintains trading above today's open, then it could still boom, right? You could still get that push up. So if you are bullishly biased, then you will be looking for that intraday support to be formed. For buying it. Bitcoin is struggling at monthly support. Let's see if people are... Nope. Point of control's down here, so there's not a lot happening there, but it does look like it based on the wick and the price action, right? This appears to be the area. But you do kind of have, you can see that your daily highs are higher, right? $618 retracement of today's impulse. From low to high. It could still find support here. So maybe that's the trade. We look for longs on Bitcoin. We'll watch support. It's right at the point of control as well. So $19,912. Let me get Bitcoin pulled up on Bitget over here so I can find that price for you. It doesn't look like it's wanting to hold support on Bitget. Support on Bitget is $19,903. And 50 cents. What's up, baby? But you do have, like I said, for the last 3 days, you've been making higher highs, higher lows, right? There's low, high, higher high, higher low. But barely. Just barely. Whereas Ethereum looks much better, right? Higher highs and higher lows. Higher highs, higher lows. So we're going to watch support for those bullish entries on Bitcoin. 19,903. A close back above this is going to give you your risk. Your risk would be that bearish swing low. So let's set the trade up. So we are looking for a long position. $3.23 to 1 risk to reward as long as that low stays the low. And in 16 minutes, we want to see this close above this white line. And then this is what your trade will look like. Obviously, profit target will be this resistance level. Not the monthly support. Monthly supports work good on monthly closes, not so much on hourly closes. I love your cat meows. Yeah, he's just letting me know that mommy left to go to work. It's all good. He does it every single morning. My orders are small, so let's get filled. Oh, so gets filled. Got you. Yeah, smaller orders will do better on the fillage. I should work on a Pepe emoji for the chat. But yeah, we're going to watch this. If we close under it, then that's definitely going to make me not like it so much. But we're still a good while away from today's New York session, or as far as the stock market is concerned. So we're not taking it just yet. We're giving it time to play. Five-minute supports don't work as often. So we'll just give it a little bit. We know we got 15 minutes. Wes says, Pepe saying, hi, y'all. Old man BTC out of gas. Yeah, it does appear to be that way, doesn't it? Does appear to be that way. But we've seen the dollar do this before, right? We've seen the dollar trade up and then roll over. It's less likely because it is very, very bullish. Let me go let him out because that's all he wants. I'll be right back. All right. He can get out. He's just lazy like that. He's a lover boy, though. He's an awesome cat. All right. So we're keeping our eye on Bitcoin. We're waiting to see how the hourly closes. If it closes back above that $19,912 area, we could potentially take the long and then use this little swing low right there as our risk. Would really help if the dollar would start to trend lower. It makes it a little bit today difficult because you're pushing up on the dollar and ETH is also pushing up, right? So it makes looking for that risk or that best place to apply that risk is difficult. It's just difficult, but doing good. He is the king. I like to call myself the king and he's the prince, but we really know the truth. The truth is Pepe is definitely the boss. Most definitely. Most definitely. All right, so we're just going to wait on Bitcoin, see what it does. Let's go ahead and get it all pulled up here. Now that we've basically discussed everything. Ethereum is pushing up. That's going to be the next resistance level to watch. I mean, the old high of day won't probably have that much weight on it. You could potentially look for entries at the old high of day if you get back up there. Risk is going to be the high of day. You're only looking for a push down to 1639. Which would be a decent little trade if it were to play out. Over here we'll watch the DXY. Here we will watch Mr. Bitcoin. And we are currently watching for support to hold, and that is there. It doesn't look like it's going to, does it? At the moment. So you haven't got back up there yet. So even if you were looking for that entry, you have not been able to get there. SPX is stalling at daily supply. Yesterday it did absolutely nothing. Bitcoin is probably going to be the trade if it happens, simply because this is so strong. I don't like shorting strong assets. And the SPY, even though it has tagged daily supply, you're not getting any follow through to the downside. To be fair, you did take out hourly support, but you've already taken out that high. So if anything, that is going to be support now. Not that, this. And we still got a good minute. You still got 40 minutes before you get the open of the New York stock market. And that's the last chunk of volume, essentially. The majority, like at that point in time, once you're 15, 30 minutes into after 9:30, around 10 o'clock, you're going to get the ISM non-manufacturing news at 10. That will be the biggest volume of the day, and that will dictate the rest of the direction for the daily ranges. Hopefully. BTC chop shop. Yeah. Bow to King Pepe. What's the PT for Bitcoin long? Price target is going to be resistance. Right there. And if this low stays intact, it's better than a 2-to-1. Right? This low has to stay intact. And you're targeting resistance here. You could go higher. Obviously, this is high of day. But that's what we would want in order to get rid of our risk, right? So if you get back up there, that's where you're going to take profits. You're going to execute this stop loss. You're going to reset a new stop loss at break even. That way, if you get back up there and reject again and come down, you've made money on the day. And that's all you're trying to do. A couple times a week, you're trying to make a couple bucks. So that way you can close the week out green. And if you can do that consistently, week over week, you're going to do just fine. Risk is the most important thing. It's key. All right, so we're getting back up there on Bitcoin. You're not quite there on Bitget, but you are there on Coinbase. On the 5-minute, it looks disgusting. It doesn't look like a long at all, does it? On the hourly, it looks good. As long as DXY is pushing up, Bitcoin will probably not be a good trade. If that's the case, then maybe Ethereum is. Maybe Ethereum has run its course. Maybe hitting almost 4% on the day was as high as it wants to go. So I don't. When I have my chart set up like this, where I'm thinking I could short Ethereum or go long Bitcoin, I don't like it. Like generally, the best trades are going to be like when you're like, oh yeah, I'm shorting Bitcoin and I'm shorting Ethereum, or vice versa. Oh yeah, I'm getting long Bitcoin and I'm getting long Ethereum. That's typically when the trading days work out better, when everything is on track. We're getting mixed signals across the board, right? SPX can't get any downside follow through, but the dollar is getting upside follow through. But that could stop. It's unlikely. You're trading well above any resistance. And the high of day is there. From that scam wick, no, there's the high of day. That scam wick might not be real. That might not be an actual print of price. So could you short Bitcoin here? Yeah, and you would be targeting, your risk would be big though. That's your risk. Yeah, it would not be a good trade. Ethereum has the better short. For a short, Ethereum is better. You got 5 minutes left on this hourly candle, so it doesn't mean anything. This thing could close right back up there. And there it goes. Got still 5 minutes after that. This is going to be after this candle closes, now this candle will be the close of the hourly. So wherever this baby closes, that's where the hourly closes. Everything looks like garbage except Ethereum. Ethereum is the only asset that's been moving good. And a couple alts as well. But I don't think Ethereum is going to give you that chance for that entry. SPX is holding above hourly support. Three minutes left on the close. No, not high of day. It's going to be hourly res. And it's going to be based on if this candle closes above that white line or not. It's got 2 minutes to get there. Can it happen in 2 minutes? Absolutely. I've seen it happen in 1. This 5-minute candle could get extremely bullish. Probably not with this going on. BTC ain't the only thing that's a chop shop. SPY is too, or SPX is too. And there's no structure for the dollar to stop out outside of today's high, which is yesterday's high, not today's. If that wick is false, that's not there. The stop run on the dollar is going to be yesterday's high. It could get bearish after that. But it doesn't look like it wants to be bearish. Order flow is obviously moving up. The SPX has been on the lows for a long time, multiple days. This was your low, up, down, sideways. Nothing is clear. Downside continuation looks likely based on the structure of the dollar. 1 minute 35 seconds. Ethereum pushing lower. Cassidy Adams still down on the day, but might be finding support. We can go look at Atom real quick. While Bitcoin is pushing lower, taking us right out of being able to do anything. Yeah, Atom looks like a decent... You've made this up close candle here. Well, it didn't close above though. It did a little bit, didn't it? That's not the indicator I wanted. You did barely. So, I mean, Atom shorts would be the open of today if you were looking for downside continuation. And it's also hourly supply. You didn't quite get up there. But if you're looking for downside continuation, that's roughly where, and support is there. Bitcoin now pushing lower. And that was the close on the hour. So it doesn't look like it wants to go up as of right now. Let's see what happens if the dollar pushes up to that liquidation. It looks like it's wanting to so bad. I guess you could watch hourly res on Atom, my friend, but I mean, it's not a great trade. You're getting short around the lows of the day. I would much rather be getting short on an asset around the high of the day if I was expecting downside continuation. Right? Traps exist. This could definitely be a trap to the downside. It doesn't look likely. It pushing up around 110, 271, that's the high. It's the highest high for a long time. Dollar hasn't been here for years. So just look at how it's setting itself up. You got news coming out in an hour. So it could trade around here for an hour, spike up, and then come lower. We'll be live for that. We'll wait on the newsprint. There's no point in exiting the live stream before anything happens, because we do want to get positioned. We have been doing pretty good on these live streams for the wins. So we'll wait for an entry if we get one. But I don't know if I would like this short Atom trade. It is up good. I mean, as far as if you're going to see more downside on Bitcoin, which is what everybody's expecting, which is why I could see it going up. At the highs, you moved up 140% from the lows. Much better mover than Bitcoin was, that's for sure. That's roughly about the same distance Ethereum traded as well. So the trade on Atom might not be today, it might be tomorrow. A test of daily supply and then look for your short entry. All right? I'd probably leave it alone today. And see if that area acts as resistance tomorrow. See? Bear trap, SPY, up. Only on the 5 minute though. But that's hourly support on the SPY. So Bitcoin long is still intact for now. It's closed below, so I don't like it, but it is a potential. Just trying to see how the market looks like it's trying to set itself up for the day. It is showing that weakness. Dollar's going to go ahead and liquidate. I don't know what I'm waiting on. It's happening now. 10 o'clock. I'll get there in 5 minutes. The short on East, man, it's up so big. I got stopped to the freaking dollar before the 14% move. That will happen, unfortunately, in trading. It's because we can't see into the future. If we could, we would just wait for that stop run to get short or long, depending on your direction, right? That's what makes trading so difficult. It's because just when you think you have the best position possible, the dollar gets super uber bullish. And I mean, compare how big the move is on the dollar to the down move on Ethereum or even Bitcoin. It's not that big in comparison, even with the SPY or the SPX. I mean, for the last 25 minutes, you've went straight up on dollar, whereas look at the same amount of time what you've done on the SPX. Not much. So that kind of looks like the SPX is looking for higher prices today. You're still bullish on the day. Not by much, but you are. So let's find it. 1800 o'clock. That's your daily open. There. Open impulse. Down to the open impulse, and you're stalling for now. Point of control is under price. It still looks good to the upside. Let's see if we get this liquidation run on the dollar. It's coming up right now, and see if this thing gets bearish. Like you'll get a spike up and then rejection. If that's the case, then Bitcoin's bullish entry could be down here somewhere instead of up there. Makes the risk to reward a little bit better, but it still looks terrible. There's your reject, or there is your liquidation. I bet that's not even happening on the euro. SPX moving down. Euro has not quite liquidated a low of day yet, but damn. There it is. Oh, what is it? The risk is going to be hard on Bitcoin. Like, where do you risk now? Looks bad. I don't know what you would risk here if you were to get long here. Best thing I could see would be this wick here on that 5 minute. So maybe that's your risk. And the same profit target is going to be the same. Hourly res up here. It doesn't look good to take the long here though, does it? It looks terrible. But you're still up on the day. Euro did not liquidate the swing low. That would have been a decent trade during the London session. All the way down. I can't believe that happened before the news. A whole hour before the news. What is this on Ethereum? I've forgot. It's nothing. Oh, that's that daily supply. SPX moving into the point of control. It does not mean that we'll find support there. Bitcoin's point of control is there, so it's not looking good for the long. Ethereum just has not given you an opportunity. Some people might have already gotten short. I wouldn't have. That's the next place to watch. That means, ooh, yeah, I don't like it at that point. Moves you way down here, but this has to come up. It's still better than 2-to-1. It's just your risk is nowhere. You're risking the old high of day, which isn't much. And that was the test on it there. Bitcoin on the hourly has a spot to risk, a wick low. Alright, so we're just kind of waiting here. We're in no man's land at this point. We didn't get no entries on pound or euro. They all happened during the London session, which is typical for FX. I guess you could have, but it just wasn't a clear entry at all. USD JPY cooking to the upside. Jesus. We were looking for that long down here, but we just didn't get it. Cooking. I mean, it is just blazing a trail. Look at that nastiness. Dollar pushing back up above the liquidation part, which is just yesterday or the previous day's high. Not much left to liquidate on the dollar. I mean, you're super duper bullish. Yeah, shorting a dollar like that isn't advised. But it's just yesterday's high. So you got bullish engulfing going on today. You took out yesterday's low, you just took out yesterday's high. You took it out good. Let me see here. It looks like it wants to fall hard. Man, that thing is up. Eyes of Lazar. It's up 4 weeks in a row. Heath, can you take a look at Adam? Yeah, we already did. There are many hustles you can have in prison. One of them is flashlight maker. Flashlight maker. Yen is tanking. Yeah, we seen that just now on dollar yen. Rubber glove is a sponge, homeboy. Rubber glove and a sponge. That's kind of disgusting. What's the newsprint you're expecting? It is the ISM, non-manufacturing PMI, and that is at 10 o'clock. So in 45 minutes, we will get that read or that print. Did I take the East short? No, I did not, because there was nothing up there for me to take. This was it. You didn't get up there. And then the next level to watch will be this white line. That is going to be hourly resistance. But your risk has got to be much bigger now. So your what was a good 3-something to 1 risk to reward is now just 2 to 1 at best. Right? But if you get this risk where it needs to be, that falls hard. It's not a trade I like. Not a trade I like. Yeah, it is extended to the upside. That's what we're kind of watching here. We're wanting to see this happen, right? Liquidate yesterday's high, then fall. If that occurs, then Bitcoin could find support here and then trade up into our target, which is here on Bitcoin. Taking the long now would be front running what you assume is going to happen, but you should have done it on the close, right? That would have got your entry roughly at 19,838 spot 50, which is, currently where the entry would have been, right? On the close of this hour, which it did what we didn't want to happen. We broke down below support. That is not what we wanted to happen. But what it does do is it does give you a lower spot to take the long entry. And currently the risk would be this swing low, because that's that hourly swing low. So like if you're going to front run those entries, if you're watching the dollar, you see the dollar coming into a high value target, which is yesterday's liquidation. If that's about approximately where you're looking to get long, you need to do that on the roughly around the time, right? So this is the first time we liquidated right there. That's 1, 2, 3 candles away. 1, 2, 3 candles away. That's where you would have wanted to get long, if you are assuming that this is now going to fall. If that happens, this is not going to be a short. This will find support and run higher, if that plays out. But we're still trying to assume that this is going to be the high of day for the dollar, right? Which we discussed as this was falling, that this could potentially be the spot to look for the long entry. So you're taking your long entry based off what the dollar's doing, not what Bitcoin's doing, and not what Bitcoin looks like either, because it looks pathetic. It looks like it wants to go lower, and it probably will. But that was the entry. If looking for today to continue up. You are still bullish on the day. This 5-minute wick down here is where you could put that risk to save you from a spike down below this current low. Long from the point of control at 19,679. How did you get there? You had to get long a long time ago. Yeah, essentially you took the long down here, which was last night. I'm trying to get people positioned for today. right now. Not last night, but that was a good trade. I am not wearing pants. Absolutely not. I trade for a living, so I am butt naked. Actually, I got on shorts, but that's it. I live in Florida. I'm a Florida boy. We roll, no shirt, no shoes, no problem. I do not have a suit on. That's the benefits from trading from home. Got my own dress code. All right. ADA is currently down on the day. Pretty good. Luna's down on the day. Pretty good. And NZD CAD, this was a short we were looking for, and it is currently down on the day. Good. I don't know if anybody was able to get that short. We discussed it yesterday. It wasn't discussed today. But we definitely discussed this beast. It made its move during the Asian session, not the London session. But the London session did provide entry here. Basically just tagged the supply candles low, and that would have been the entry. Not me, don't even know what those are. No pants here. No, I mean if it comes down. Oh, no. More than likely, no. Simply because if it does come down, you're going to be lower than the open, which means you're going to be red on the day. And getting long, I mean, the dollar is so strong, and there's no reason to expect it to roll over here, other than it just wanted to liquidate and then roll over, right? The long for Bitcoin is here. If it's going to be a long today, this is the entry. $19,838.50 would have been the entry, and it would have been upon this 5-minute smash of that liquidation. I hope somebody got short NZD CAD yesterday. We are expecting downside continuation based on this day here. And I mean, daily supply held to perfection, even yesterday, or even today's range. But that happened during the Asian session last night. But looks good. See, the SPX still bullish on the day, but barely, right? There's the open. That's the area where we thought would hold support. You can't, I mean, if you're trading CFDs on the SPX, then this is the same price that you would be looking for Bitcoin to hold. Right there. ETH is now into hourly resistance. Right now. But your risk has to be up there, and the only thing that you could hope for is a big drop on Ethereum. After it cruised up to almost 4% on the day. At that high, you were almost at 4%. But that's a short entry on Ethereum. Right there, right now. Risk here. Let me get over on Ethereum. If the dollar keeps trucking to the upside, this more than likely will roll over. It's already been so strong, though. So ETH did follow the path of the dollar's up move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For the last, 25 minutes? That's when Ethereum made a high of day, which was roughly in here. We still got 10 o'clock news, so wherever you get entry here, there is a chance that you get wicked out of it when the news happens at 10:30. Bitcoin still isn't as reactive as the SPX is. But it will likely follow suit. Whatever it does, Bitcoin will likely follow. Ethereum is just hanging out. This would be your short entry. But if you can't short Ethereum and go long Bitcoin, it don't make sense. Gotta love choppy sideways markets. It makes everything fun. So many wicks through here, it's just but no actual level of support. If this rolls over and you continue up on Bitcoin, this will likely give you a top or a higher entry if you still like it short. I don't know why you would. It is up 3.18% on the day. We're trying to get long Bitcoin because Bitcoin isn't up 3.1% on the day. But it is a risky trade. That was the entry. So it might come back. If it's anything what SPY's doing, or the SPX is doing, the SPOOs, it's already back there. Five-minute demand. You just got to make your decision. Do you think ETH is a short or do you think Bitcoin is a long? You can't do both. I guess one could and then hedge that off, but that was your short entry on Ethereum right there. Here would be your long entry on Bitcoin right here. SPX is trending lower. So be careful on the Bitcoin entry. There's nothing down here really to liquidate. But right down you go. What did we say that was? Nothing. Oh, the open of the day. That's your daily open. You're trading into it. You see how you traded up right to the hourly resistance and now you're starting to roll over. That would have been your short entry. SPX is trading well under this point of control and at the open of the day. You just tagged the open. Bitcoin's open is way over here. So there's Bitcoin's open. Right there. Buy pushing under. You're bearish on the day, finally. Bitcoin back at the bullish entry if you think it's going to continue to be bullish. This is your open of the day. Doesn't much look like it. I got long NZDJPY during Asia. I trade for a living. Unprovable. Unproofable. What's that mean? Unproofable. If you don't like that, then we'll just say I'm retired for a living. Either way, it doesn't matter to me. Oh, but you're the one that likes to bust my balls anyway. So it's 9:30 in the morning. I live on the East Coast. I'm not at work. So take it for whatever you want, man. I don't even know why you're here. You never agree with anything I say. You're always completely opposite. You're probably just here to watch me fail. But I promise you, you are going to be waiting for a long, long, long time. That is not going to happen. Entry, short entry on ETH 1668.52. You are rotating down from that level. Still got 30 minutes until the news. Here comes the open of the New York stock market. He is the trade talk troll for sure. No doubt about it. There's always one. Yep. Here's your open coming up. 9:30 is here. Let's get the SPY up. SPY is up 0.24%. There's your open. Low of day yesterday is here. That is yesterday's low. Look at Bitcoin, right down to bullish entry. And up. That was your entry. It's up to you to decide what you want to do here. Remember, ETH is up big on the day. I would much rather get long Bitcoin. There we go. Nice. I took the entry on the close over here. My exact entry on this is 835.50. Ethereum entry right back to it, coming back down. We got it. We'll see what happens. Risking that 5-minute swing low down here. But if it starts trending down there, I will not eat a full stop. I will close it. You just get a volume spike on the open. A 5-minute push up could be the area for the short on the SPY. See that? Remember, the SPY hasn't been trading 24/7. This is the open. This is yesterday's price action. So you're up around yesterday's high. Well, not yesterday's high. It opened up there, but the last part of the day anyway. ETH gave you a second chance. It's your choice. Dollar is very strong today. ETH is very strong today. SPX is back to bullish on the day, but just barely. Problem about getting long or short right now on anything is at 10 o'clock you're likely going to get a spike in both directions to stop each and everybody out, and then you'll get the move. If it even, I mean, it might not be it might be a non-event, right? Previously was 56.7. The forecast is 55.1. There goes Bitcoin pushing lower. About to eat a stop. There is the stop. I was reading the ISM. It doesn't matter. It wasn't a big risk. 2% ain't nothing. I'm trying to see here. It doesn't really tell me nothing here. An index reading above 50% indicates that the non-manufacturing economy in that index is generally expanding. So they're looking for a miss on the ISM. Forecasting a miss. 55.1. Anything lower than that. This is where my risk was. This is the open of the day. Apologies. I ate the stop right there. Ethereum pushing lower on the entry. It's hourly resistance is all it is. I will show you so that way you can do this yourself. Hourly resistance, the new resistance, obviously, because a fresh high of day was made on that candle. So this is the open of the day. You are bearish on the day under that line. And on the daily, it looks terrible to be bearish again after being bearish yesterday and taking out yesterday's high. You traded all the way up to resistance and rejected. Bitcoin sucks. Dollar's pushing up. Back up again. Trying to nuke short traders. SPY slight wick to the upside. Ethereum is struggling at support. This is a previous high. Now that is going to be your daily supply. Longer term, unlike a swing trade, you're allowed to take wide entries, right? Wide stops. So if we pull this up on the daily, you'll see what I mean. Get rid of that. Boom. Supply is right there. And you didn't make a higher high based on this high. So this still could be a decent swing trade to the downside. Wait until 10 o'clock to make your decision. I mean, it's up to you, right? Risk today's high. Entry there. Boom, boom. That would give you... I'm not a swing trader myself, so I don't like doing it. You wouldn't even get a 2-to-1 risk to reward back down to resistance. So I wouldn't take it. But hourly resistance, on the other hand, was a decent place to look, as that gets your risk much smaller. So now you shouldn't close an hourly under here, right? This would be supply moving lower. Bitcoin tagging yesterday's close, which is support. Until you close under it, it's support. I got the ETH short at 1667, spot 50. Good job. That's almost a perfect test of resistance. Remember, your target is 1639.63. And I ate the stop on the Bitcoin long. I was expecting the dollar to at least give us a bit of a jolt after that liquidation. A daily support, typically good places to look for long entries as well. The SPY is still, what are you smoking, bro? Cigarettes. I'm a dirty, nasty cigarette smoker. Have been for 15 years. Or 20. 30. I can't even remember. I'm not one of those cats that started smoking at the age of 10. I was a little bit later. But I should stop. It's a dirty, dirty habit. I appreciate YouTube telling me that I'm live. You're a little bit late. I've been live for a couple hours. All right, so SPY has got a fresh low day. SPX moving down. You are under daily support currently on Bitcoin. You are into demand. You should not close an hourly candle below this if there is still probability for upside on Bitcoin today. It definitely looks like the risk is down, right? Ethereum short looks good, still holding. A tag of that 1664 could be potential for a secondary entry, but resistance is always the best entry. Bitcoin just cannot get anything going to the upside. Whereas Ethereum has only been going up. This will be a gap fill on the SPY. Gap filled. It was a slight upside gap. "20 minutes until the news." Daily supply on Ethereum. "19 minutes on the close." Yeah, just don't like it that much. So this big spike was today. That's your daily high. This is your daily low. It's a similar thing that you got on Euro. That would have been the open. So you got the nice pump at the open, sold right back off, made a fresh daily low. So if you fib this daily range, it looks like that. Right? $618 was a trap. Down. Because that's not bullish. Whenever you make a daily high and then go down and make a fresh daily low, that's not typically bullish. I always treat it as bearish. Because you want to see bullish continuation on the open. There's the open on Ethereum. Up, didn't make a new daily low. And then up, but struggling to make anything keep going on the daily range. So that's your daily range here. Daily low, there. Daily high, here. Dollar still trading at yesterday's high. What news is coming out today? ISM manufacturing. Non-manufacturing. ISM non-manufacturing PMI. Here it is. If you read it, it doesn't really tell you a whole lot, right? It just tells you what it is. It has been trending lower. So we're expecting a lower read again. So previous is 56.7. That's last month's read. They're expecting a lower print this month. I can't tell you if that's bullish or bearish. I can't tell you because I don't know. I don't focus on news so much. I just pay attention where it is, when it is, and then I focus on technical levels. That's it. That's all I do. Day in and day out. Ethereum should be getting a lot more of a negative reaction after that high day. It is good that you traded away from your entry almost instantly. So you don't want to see an hourly close back above 1663 because this now becomes supply. This actually becomes a decent entry again. But it's just one of those things. You're trying to short a very strong asset. SPY is trending lower after filling the gap. The first 15 minutes, though, this could absolutely be a decent bullish entry if you didn't have news coming up, right? So Bitcoin traded right down to the open of the day as well as hourly demand. We know this is demand because you put in the bearish close and then shortly after got that reaction. So as long as you're not closing hourlies below that, it could still go to the upside. It just doesn't look good as of right now. But you still got a full 8 hours of trade coming at you. So like if this was a normal standard non-news day and, you know, the SPY wasn't trending to the downside, I typically would take position here. Just knowing that it's 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, you might get a reaction or bounce. That's the demand, right? We could turn on I do this every time. I don't know why it keeps doing it. So that's basically shows you what's what. Pre-market, post-market, pre-market. This is yesterday's range. But that's Friday. That's Friday, not yesterday. Apologies. This was the NFP. NFP happened here. Up, up. That's where we took the short on Ethereum. And we got a nice move out of that last Friday. Ethereum struggling at daily supply. Let's see if volume control has moved. Has not. It still looks good. Notice how your point of control also is supply. Almost. Not exact. It probably would be a little bit better if we put the high definition one up there. No, it's a little bit higher. I doubt you're going to get a retest of this. You almost did last 5 minute session. Oh my God. That's supply. Who's blowing me up, man? SPY's continuing to push lower. Doesn't look good for it. Yes, or Friday's low. That's not even Friday's low. It's Thursday's low. Which is the low of the range. Since you put in the bounce. Everything looks disgusting. Good stuff. Heath would help shout out those levels D1 high-low rather than here. Oh, for people not listening, 1663 is hourly supply on Ethereum. You didn't quite get the test. Bitcoin 19,787.42 is hourly demand. Price is currently struggling at it, but with today's price action, with the S&P 500 pushing back down to range lows at 390.04. Doesn't look like any long trades are going to happen today. But we do got news coming up in 11 minutes. DXY's high, yesterday's high was 110.271, $110.27. And you're currently pushed back up to it again today. And the first profit target on Ethereum was 1639.96. So far, so good. I did not take Ethereum. I did not take that trade. I thought for sure Bitcoin would bounce. It did not. So don't try to push it. If you get there, take profits, move your stop to break even. That alleviates any risk for the day. Is there a second take profit for ETH? No. You just take your profits, move your stop to break even. That alleviates the risk. So that way, if it does come down here and bounce right back up and stops you out, at least you took profits, right? At least you paid yourself for taking the risk in the first place. Thanks, you're welcome. Also, how do you take profits on Bitget whilst leaving a trade open? Just to stop profit. Alright, so let me put it over here on this one, because I don't have very much money on the USDC futures side of the platform, and I'll show you. So this is the Bitget platform. You can see that I have currently 130 bucks on it. I don't trade USDC. My main thing is I trade the Coin M futures on Bitcoin because I want to grow Bitcoin, right? This Coin M futures allows you to use Bitcoin to trade Bitcoin and then either profit or loss in Bitcoin. Your trades are settled in that. So if you're using USDC, your trades would be settled in USDC, right? There's only two assets you can trade currently on this platform on USDC, and that is Bitcoin Perpetual, Ethereum Perpetual. The question is, how do you take profits on Bitget whilst leaving a trade open? Just to stop. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take a long position. Let's get rid of the leverage you can see here. Let's go ahead and get rid of that just to show you. So I want to buy with 100% of the position. I just hit that, boom, market order right there. You can see how much it costed on the trade. Not much. I'm still roughly at 130. So you can take profits by setting a take profit level. All right. So you can see I don't have a stop or a take profit in the market. You would simply hit this down here. Let me make sure you can see that. You cannot. There we go. Right there. See this? Take profit. You click that. It brings up this prompt. So say I'm taking a very small scalp, right? And you can do this if you're using a lot of leverage. I wouldn't suggest doing small scalps if you're not using leverage because you don't make shit, right? So, but if I wanted to set a take profit at resistance, that's resistance. That price is 1666.65. Set take profit 1666 spot 65, and then however much you can change this. This is your profits. This is how much you want to take profits. You can change it into 1% increments. So if you want to take 50%, you slide it to 50%. I do 2/3, so it's more than 64%-ish. Anywhere in here is good for me, right? So I would just set that and then instantly hit confirm, brings your profit, take profit up there. If price goes up there, it's going to trigger you out and it's going to take 70% of your profits. So it will close this position down, but you will still have 30% of the original position still open. And that is when you just take your stop loss and you set it to break even. If this was a legit trade, this is just a demonstration. Please do not get long on Ethereum right here. This is just a demonstration. All right? Don't do it. But if I was like, if it gets up there, it's going to take my profits. I would then exit whatever stop loss I had. So if, let's just use this as an example, 1646. So let's say that's where my stop loss was, 1646. And then obviously your stop loss, you always want to close down 100% of the position size. After it gets up there, I take my profits. I would close this out physically by clicking that X and then bringing up a new stop loss at, I can't do it at the price because we're currently trading under it. But you would just set your stop loss just either at or just above. And you can set a stop loss with this order pane. You can set a stop loss above your entry. You do not have to use the trailing stop limit. This trailing stop limit is a limit order. If you use this and this, it's going to be a market order, even though it's set. Let's see if it says limit or if it says take profit at market. Oh, at market. It's a market order. So market orders are more expensive. You get charged going in and coming out if you do market orders. If you do limit orders only, then you will be considered a maker. A maker, not a taker. Market orders makes you a taker. So the fees are different. All right. And then to close out the position, if you have multiple entries, like when I first started on this platform, I had like 4 different trades open down here, and I accidentally hit close all positions and it exited them all out. You don't want to do that. If you got multiple orders running and you just want to exit the current trade that you're on, that would be here, ETH perpetual. You can either flash close it or set a stop loss. However, right? But just flash close takes you out. Boom, done. Instantly. Out. Take profits on Ethereum. This is where you're taking profits. So take profits now. You have gotten there. Close enough. Close is not. Close is good, right? Go ahead and take profits on Ethereum. Adjust your stop to at your entry. And then you will no longer have any risk on the table. Right? That was good trading on Ethereum. Whoever took that, good job. I didn't. So you're better than me today. I thought Bitcoin would bounce. It didn't. So I was wrong. There you go. Take profits. You're getting that expansion move now. Dollars pushing up. You got 3 minutes until the news. Take profits right now. Move your stop to break even wherever you entered. And yeah, good job. And then you can just leave that running, right? If it doesn't ever go back up there and stop you out, if it just continuously trades lower and lower and lower and lower, that 1/3 position will end up paying you more than the initial trade did. That happens to me a lot. So essentially you make double what you were expecting to make on one trade. That's why I'll always leave a little piece on just in case I get continuation, because occasionally we do get these trades at very good places where you do get downside continuation. So what I mean by that is if Bitcoin breaks down, you're already trading under daily support, but it matters on the close. Today could close back up here, and that means we will be looking for long positions on Bitcoin the next day at daily support. Just depends on where it closes. If it closes below, then you're looking for downside continuation. And whatever Bitcoin does, most of the time these things will follow. So if Bitcoin breaks down, this is the ultimate support. If you break down and you get a big down move, Ethereum will be situated as the ultimate short because you've been bullish for several days on Ethereum, right? So your potential reward could be all the way down to the lows if Bitcoin breaks down. If Bitcoin liquidates this swing low and bounces, Ethereum could potentially make a new swing high. Yeah, it's just as simple as that. You typically don't want to short a strong asset, but as of right now, you're roughly around the midpoint of today's range. You might want to look to take profits. And if it holds and continues lower, you're going to be in a good trade for multiple days potentially. Listening, not watching, got you. Or 50%, you can take as much as you want. I know with my data, because I've been doing this for a very long time, I make more money when I take more profits because I have a higher win rate. So if I take more profits, if I take more than 50%, I make more money. But that's just my data. Your data might be different. You might have a worse win rate than me. So you might want to take more or all, for instance. You have to build up your own set of data. Your entries, exits, take profits, stop losses, all that stuff. You need to keep track of it so you can see if what you're even doing is working. If it's not working, then you got tweaks to make. But trading this way is the best way. Like, it's the easiest and best way to trade. You're just taking entries at high probable areas, is all. Nobody knows what the future holds. Nobody knows if their trade is, when they enter a trade, they do not know if it's going to win or lose. Ever. So you just take them at the higher probable areas. The best entry, and an entry I would have taken on Ethereum, would have been resistance. All the way up there, yeah, I would have taken that. But being in the middle of no man's land, like, the only thing that you could watch in today's price action was hourly resistance, and that was the entry there. Right? Based solely on that. That's it. Not based on anything else, just based on, well, if this holds, this could be a good spot for an entry. That is a good spot for a profit target because we know that's intraday support. Because this is the open. This candle is your open of the day. So this is your entire daily range on Ethereum. Right there. That's today's range. Right? That's the midpoint of today's range, essentially. Good spot to take profits because we know that on bullish moves, retracements typically happen around the 618 retracement. So if it is going to be a bullish day today, which it doesn't look like it, then price comes back up, takes you out of the trade. You were successful even though you were on the wrong side. That happens to me all the time. I take a trade, my profit target gets hit, then I get stopped out later because I'm on the wrong side of the market. You don't have to be on the right side of the market to make money using this strategy. You can simply watch support, resistance. So taking this long entry on Bitcoin where I went wrong was simple. We closed below support. This was my line in the sand. Wait, no, sorry, that's the damn daily chart. Here. Right here. Right up here is where we were watching. Watching there. So what happened here is I got long on this. That's your support. You should have closed above it. That's what I said at the beginning. So I went ahead and went against my rules. You get an hourly close below your hourly support level, you don't take the trade because you could be wrong. I hadn't entered this position yet. I waited for the close, the hourly close. Once it closed, I got long. We got a slight bounce right back up to where? Intraday support. And then what happened? Right? So this right here would have kept you out of the market. Should have kept me out of the market. It's my strategy. But I'm human. I do stupid stuff too, guys. Right? Look at dollar flying now. There's the news. It's bullish on the dollar. Let's see what it says. It was a beat. A big beat. Even higher than last month's. That's why you're getting that. Boom. So yeah, By watching and focusing on hourly intraday support and resistances, if you take these trades, like say this would have been a daily support level as well, those are the good trades, right? Since we weren't on Ethereum, we were above the level I wanted here. That's your daily resistance, your daily supply. So when I was looking for the short on Ethereum, what I wanted to see happen was this. See how this is the daily supply level. See how your intraday resistance forms here? Then you close above it there. That's your new resistance. Then over time, throughout the morning, you can't close an hourly above it. This is supply. This was the perfect entry for the short trade on Ethereum. But what happened? We closed an hourly above. It was a 7 o'clock candle. It ended up being a trap. You knew it was a trap upon taking out the low of the candle. And even on this close, you're under daily supply. Now your intraday supply is there. So here or here could potentially be short entries for later on down the road. Will it happen today? I don't know. But it could, maybe today it closes down in here somewhere, right? Then tomorrow you get a spike up. This will be the place to look for shorts. Tomorrow. And that's it. That's all I do day in and day out. Day in and day out. Day in and day out. Same. It never changes. Always the same. Find your daily levels. Then look for your intraday, hourly candles to show you where support and resistance are. Forget about indicators. Forget about any of that stuff, right? You're just going off of price levels. This is how they traded back in the 60s and the 70s before there were charting software even available. People would draw those levels on napkins or whatever paper they had. And then they would make their trading decisions based on yesterday's open, high, low, or close. Today, they're watching yesterday's open, high, low, and close. And they're taking their trades based on that info alone. Is there a trend? Yeah, it's trending to the upside. It's been trading up less 6 days in a row. So let's watch yesterday's open, high, low, close and look for entries there. That's why it still works today. Everybody's selling indicators and selling courses and all that shit. You can become a profitable trader just by watching free content on the internet. The problem is it's all diluted. They have you looking at stuff that you shouldn't be looking at, right? No one gives a shit about a head and shoulders or an ascending triangle or any of that. Nobody takes trades based on patterns. Professional traders take trades based on price levels. You can see how your intraday support is still currently holding. So there is a pretty good chance you get a spike. Will it go up into here? Yeah, if it does, you want to see it stop there because your entry is right above it. So you're just looking for an edge in the market. That's all you need, guys. Every single one of you. All you need is an edge. Once you have an edge, you can sharpen that edge. You can use whatever indicators you want to sharpen it. I use indicators to get my daily biases. I use the 21 exponential and the RSI. That's it. Everything else I'm watching, I already know what I'm watching. Already know it. I'm watching daily levels. Look at Bitcoin right now. Trading under support. Just heading lower. You closed below it yesterday. The perfect trade on Bitcoin would have been there. And so many times we see it where the wick just goes to there and stops. Right? This happened on the open of last night. When this candle closed, 1 hour did this. Boom. Down. That would have been a decent place to look for bearish entries. I wasn't paying attention. My dumbass was watching support here, not focusing on the daily level. Look at this. Just watch. I'm showing you something. There's resistance. That's the perfect short entry because yesterday you closed below support. And that's all you need to know. Here's support. Yesterday you closed below support. So I know today if I get a retest of resistance, that's where I want to get short based on yesterday's data. That's it. Just yesterday's data. Watch this when I go back into the intraday chart. Boom! Daily resistance. Look at that. This is the candle that I based my trading decision on this morning, not even realizing that daily resistance was right freaking there. That would have been the short entry on Bitcoin based on yesterday's candle. And look at what a beautiful short it was. You're making a fresh low. Fresh low. Today. Not the low of day yet. That's your low of day. But that more than likely is going to get hit. Boom, right there. Daily resistance. And what time did it occur? 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. 7 to 10 is when you're taking your entries in the morning if you're awake during the New York session. 7 to 10 and you're watching daily levels. Let the previous day tell you what you're looking for. Why we wasn't looking for shorts on Ethereum. Yesterday was bullish. Yesterday broke out. So there wasn't really nothing to go long on here, right? There's just no trade. We were just essentially trying to catch the high, expecting daily supply to hold. And it did. You're trading under daily supply currently. Retest of this level could be a good short entry. Potentially. I don't know if it will work, right? I never know if they're going to work, ever. But that's the same way I trade every single day. I look at too much stuff sometimes. You don't have to look at nothing. You can just focus on one asset all the time and trade it and watch your daily levels. And you can be profitable. More profitable than you ever imagined. And Bitcoin respects its daily levels good. It didn't when it opened, right? This is also why we don't trade the Asian session. Because you get most of your fake out moves during the Asian session. This was the open of today. This is Bitcoin's daily range. Right here. That's Bitcoin's daily range. Right there. Right here is daily resistance. Bitcoin opens at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It gets a big spike up well above resistance. Very next candle, under the open. Then you trade sideways. You set in a low of day, which happened at the Asian session. And then you trade it away from the low of day, up to daily res. Right in here is where you're looking for your bearish entries. And on 8 o'clock, you got an absolutely phenomenal, beautiful, absolute perfect test of that level. That should have been my short entry. But like I said, I'm human. I make mistakes. And those mistakes will cost you money in this game. That's why you can only risk 1 to 2% on any given trade because you don't know what's going to happen. I lost 2% on this close below intraday support. Had I been paying attention to the daily candles, I would have never taken that entry. In fact, we would have taken that one. And Thursday, we'll do the same thing. Exactly the same thing. That's one thing that I can say about this channel. It is consistent in the way that we discuss entries and exits. Very consistent. You can go back to my very first videos. And when I'm taking entries on those 5-minute time frame candles on those very first videos, understand that there is a daily level there. Right? I am watching the daily levels. Whether it's the open, high, low, or close. Those 4 data points is all I need ever. Ethereum was bullish. Ethereum offered no trade today. It just ended up working. Now on FX, it don't always work out that way, right? Many daily levels that don't get tested. FX is difficult. Every now and then we will nail nice trades, right? But there was really no entry in any of this garbage. Choppy markets, this strategy is built to catch trending markets. Choppy markets, you're going to get stopped out a lot. Always. SPX, This is what? What is this? Here you are trending lower, making lower lows and lower closes. Lower low, lower close. Lower low, lower close. Up. We stopped here. Why did we close up on the day? Who gives a shit? That's supply. Right? We know that there was a lot of buying in this day, but what happened the next day? It was sold off. Look at today. Right there. Just absolute perfection. Bing. Right there, baby. That's daily supply. That's what I call daily supply. You'll hear other YouTubers call this level order blocks and whatever, right? Whatever you want to call it. I don't care. I call it supply. And look at this. Look at this. You also liquidated the previous day's high. Or that day's high. Sorry, this is 3 a.m. So that would have been the high of day. You traded up, took out the previous high of day, traded right into daily supply, and boom, shakalaka. To the downside you go. And you would have known that simply based on what the previous days have been doing. This was support, you closed under it. It always won't work though, right? Because other people were watching this for demand. Coming back into it. I wouldn't have because of how fast you came back to it. That's momentum. You have downside momentum. You don't want to buy it. On the first attempt, you probably did catch a little bit of a move there, so you might have been profitable off of that. But the very next day, I mean, you didn't even test it really. It was close, but no cigar. I bet that wick fell right into the high. Yeah. It came close to the high. You could have bought the bounce, but you just don't know where to close it, right? You could have bought the bounce. Just bought it just expecting a bounce. Okay, you did. Boom, you made money. You closed the trade because you got bearish continuation. That's what you're looking for. Always. You're always looking for trend continuation. You're never trying to pick the bottom of a trend. You're looking for continuation. Bitcoin trades pretty good. But these wicks can screw you up, right? Because they're not going into fresh or good, high, strong daily levels. So when you're doing this, you just gotta basically get lucky. Catch a swing high trade or something. We missed the swing high test on Bitcoin. We missed that expansion because this was going to be our short entry. We missed it. It didn't get there. Didn't get there. And you just back test it. That's all I can tell you. This is the best tool that you got right here. Bar replay. Watch daily levels. Find your daily levels. And then go in there and intraday back test. Boom. Now we're on the hourly time frame. Go back to the daily. So we want to watch this. We want to watch this. Right? For potential bullish entries. Because your trend is up. Well, for the last several days it's been down, but you did get this bullish spike. So, go into the intraday time frame and play. That's it. What's this? Boom shakalaka. Just do it, right? It was simple as that. You seen how I did it? That quick. That quick. Boom. You didn't get a perfect test of it, but it was close enough. Now you're coming into resistance, so now this is what you're watching. Moving forward. Intraday. And watch your times also. Start watching at 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. You can do that by just putting Alt H. Alt A. Oh, sorry. Alt V, my bad. Right there. What time is that? 6 o'clock. Beautiful. Well, the trade happened before 6 o'clock. Once again, the London session called the high day. Boom. Down. Just play with this tool using the stuff I'm teaching you. It's free. You don't have to be a member of my Discord to learn. People that are in my Discord are there because A, they want to be, right? And B, I set it up as donations. That's it. I'm not expecting to sell courses and make this my living. My living is already situated. I am doing fine. I don't need to sell courses and all stuff like that. Being in the Discord can help because I'm not always going to be live when we're taking trades. Not always going to be live when we're taking trades. So occasionally I'm watching specific areas and I blurt it out. What I'm looking for in the Discord. Give people a heads up. But you don't have to do that. You're going to get the same info regardless. Sorry about the rant, but pretty much the trade's done for today. I quit trading at 10 a.m., right? If you are still into trading, if you're not done yet, it ain't good enough for you. You still got to look for entries because you haven't taken a trade yet today. Then watch those two levels. That's it. An hourly close above 1663, you leave it alone. If you tag 1663 with a wick, same trade entry. Downside, but you're trying to predict a down move. When clearly, this thing is bullish, right? Up, down, up, up, up. It's moving up. It's bullish. So you're trying to say that this is going to be where it stops. I don't know if that's where it stops. To me, this would be the better place to look for that short. But if you get back up there, then you're going to make a fresh high of day. And it's not going to look like a short. So those are the two levels to watch if you still must trade. An hourly close above this one right here, you're done. You're just going to wait for tomorrow. Because this could be the entry tomorrow. Right? Where are we at? Boom, 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 boom. So this will be 3 o'clock in the morning. That's going to be your London session. What the hell is that? Oh, Alt. Not Control. Alt V, 3 a.m. and then 6 a.m. Because we start looking for trades at 6. That's what my alarm is set for. 6 o'clock. So tomorrow, these are our targets. These are the areas where we're looking for entries for downside. If today closes bearish, that's a key thing. If today closes bullish, this won't be places to look for entries. Wherever today closes, you're going to be watching that level and then this level moving on into tomorrow. Right? If you close up in here today, then tomorrow you're going to be watching this area for potential long entries. Looking for another expansion back to the upside. Because that is your current trend. You basically need to wait for today to close. But if you just can't, right there and right there. All right? With that, we're going to wrap it up. Oh, hang on. Let me do something here. Let me read a couple of these comments and then we'll move on. USD CAD. It was on watch for a while last week, but it hasn't been on watch because I missed the trade. This was our entry the other day, right here. That's what we were looking for, but we just did not get our entry. Our entry was here. We were praying that this candle got down there, and it just didn't. So we just missed it. But as of right now, EuroCAD or USD CAD looks like this. It's bullish but struggling. You did take out yesterday's open, so actually one could probably say for a reversal, you're watching that price. Right there. That would have been the place to look for short entries. It's too late now. And that's only going on this bearish day here. So just because you closed under this day's low, it doesn't necessarily mean it is looking for downside. But if it is, this is where you're going to be looking for those entries. The better trade is to wait for a test of old resistance for potential support. So you don't take it on the first test, right? You don't wait for price to trade down here and instantly get long, because it could have a big bearish day and then close above it, right? The next day you'll be looking for that. But as of right now, your trend is up. Expansion, pullback, expansion. It does look like it's topping out. So just watch that price there. If it does close bearish today, then potentially watch this price for bearish entries the next day. That's if you close down in here. If you take out this day's close on a close, then the next day you're going to be watching that or that for bearish entries down. That's USD CAD. All right, we discussed all that. Perfect. My take profit on Luna missed by 0.001. It can happen. It can happen because these levels are very important to the overall market. Day traders are watching day candles, right? We are looking at daily candles, the previous ones, to get a kind of a bias on what we can expect today. You took out support and you didn't close that resistance. So this to me looks like it's looking to roll over a little bit. But if you don't close under this candle's support, it still ain't a short. You got to close under that. So today needs to close under 1.31269. If that occurs, then on the next day, which will be Wednesday, you could potentially watch 1.31420 or 1.31549 for your bearish entries. Right? That's if today closes under 1.31269. All right, so let me, SPX or NASDAQ. We've been watching SPX all morning. It's going lower. You've just taken out the weekly low. There was last week's low. You just smoked it. It looks like it wants to see bearish continuation, man. Is it potential? Could this be the low of the week, though? Yeah, it could. It absolutely could. Let's see where today closes. If today closes, well, I would much rather it close above that, but for a longer term weekly trade, I think just closing above this could potentially call a low for the week. But if it closes under it, then not. The weekly high is probably in. Today is Tuesday, so this could be the weekly high right there. For this week coming, right? You still got, what? Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday to go. So for this to be like the bottom for the week, and then maybe you get another 3 days expansion up, you got to see how today closes. It needs to close back above this. If you close back above this today, then I will be looking for long trades tomorrow. And the same goes for the NASDAQ. It's exactly almost the same, right? They trade almost hand in hand. NDQ's gappy. QQQ's gappy. NQ1's not as gappy, but it still is. This is going to be, that's last week's low. Here, last week's low, you're well under it. Look at your dailies. Today is the day that you took out last week's low. Today could be the turning point. But in order for that to happen, I need to see today close back above yesterday's close. In order for me to potentially look for bullish entries on Wednesday or for Thursday even. A close under here means that this is probably the high. The weekly high. Oh, yesterday was a freaking holiday. I keep forgetting. So this week could be choppy. You could trade inside of this and this all week just because of that, right? You could trade inside of this for the next 3 days just based on what we're looking at. But we know that's last week's low. So if we want to see bullish price action for the rest of the week, we must close back above that. A close above it doesn't mean anything to me. I'll potentially be looking for shorts there for downside continuation. So that's SPY and NASDAQ. Since we won't be live tomorrow, we just do live streams for the public Tuesdays and Thursdays. You said you watch only daily and hourly levels, but how much attention do you pay to weekly and monthly? I pay a lot of attention to them, man. The short that I took on Ethereum last week was based on that, the weekly level. The weekly levels are important too, but they're less important for an hourly time frame, right? There was the level I was looking for. We traded up into it, back under it. This is what it looks like on the daily. Up, down. But you still didn't take out support. So even though it was a successful trade on NFP and a very good trade with 20x leverage, that was a phenomenal trade. It was a good trade, and it was based solely on last week's open. But we were watching intraday stuff as well, right? We knew that we had daily supply coming up, but once we formed intraday resistance, we pretty much had it here, right? Let's get rid of this. This was daily supply. We didn't get there. But this is the weekly. We watched this all morning. Boom, traded up, took out the high of day, then rejected. That's where we got short. Right there. That was a short entry. You can see what happened. But here we are. Boom. So this was NFP. This created a down trap. Everybody thought you're going to see downside continuation. I was one of them. But watching the daily candles, we knew, yeah, maybe not. Like, as soon as you broke out here, before you can get bearish, you got to see a daily close under that. Here was resistance, breakout. Next day, traded down to where? Support. Would that have been a fantastic bullish entry? Yeah. Phenomenal bullish entry. And if you held it, you're still in good shape. As long as you didn't trail your stop up too far, all right? That's where people get in trouble a lot when they're trying to catch multi-day trades. But I usually do that on just a small piece of profit anyway, so it doesn't matter. So yeah, I mean, depending on how the day closes, we'll determine what we're looking for tomorrow. That's the way we do this day after day after day after day. Daily levels for intraday trades are best, but like I said, watch where your hourly resistance or support is in conjecture with the daily level, because a lot of times you're going to form an intraday resistance where the daily resistance is. So you're not necessarily looking for the entry at the daily resistance. You know that since what happened yesterday, you're looking for shorts. Then you watch intraday resistance for the short entry. And like I said, it's not always going to work either. There are going to be times where everything is perfect. You read the market perfect and you still got stopped out due to random market violence. He's high of the devil's lettuce and skipped a holiday in his head. No, I don't smoke weed. AMD bounce was a trade, says Brian. Let's go look at it. I'm not sure where. Oh. Yeah, maybe there was that wick. It would have been difficult to get it. Yeah, it did bounce, but it's back down. So All right. Or are you talking about last week's low? Because you just took it out right now. So if this is going to be a turning point, it needs to be here, right? Needs to be here. 78.52 is going to be the line in the sand for you, depending on where today closes. If you close under it, it's going to be a down week probably again. You're probably going to be seeing more downside. If you close back above it, I would much rather want to see it close above Friday's close for bullish entries. Expecting this to be the low of this week. But today's high could be the high of this week as well. We don't know. We know based on past data that the high of the week is usually the high or low. It's important that you understand both. That the high or low for the week is usually in by Tuesday or Wednesday. Is there sometimes where the high or low week isn't in until the end of the week? Absolutely. If you get a big ass candle on Friday that takes out last week's low and last week's high, then boom, shakalaka, you got it. There was one of the times when it didn't work. I don't mean it happens all the time. Everything in trading works, just not all the time. But more often than not, the high or low of week will be in during the first couple of days of the week. So this is the first day of the week. Is this the low of week? Possibly. Possibly. Or is this the high of the week? Possibly. Right? We make trading decisions based on that as well. I would love to see today close above that. Close bullish even would be fantastic, because then Wednesday I would be watching there for entries. Right? Say today closes bullish up in here. Tomorrow you'll be looking for a wick down to there. Not a wick. I mean, it'll look like a daily wick, but intraday you'll see hourly candles heading that direction. And then that's where you want to see them stop. Or if you get under it, you want to see it, wait for it to get back above it. But that's getting ahead of ourselves. We have to first wait to see how today closes. Today could close down here. And if it does, then the high of the week is probably in. And we'll look for downside continuation moving further. I mean, it's been bearish for multiple weeks. I mean, that's your bear market low. I don't like the fact that you're this low on this range. Yeah, we need to get daily closes up above 81.43 before we can start looking for bullish entries. And if not, this is coming down. This is going to be looking for new lows. See, the S&P 500 is still struggling. Right at the 618 of this expansion. So it is possible that we start to find support in here. That's why tomorrow you will wait. See, how does today close? Does it close back up in here? If it does, perfect. You can look for entries there or here on any push lower. If you close under this, then look for this for potential bearish entries. That or this, right? If you close like down in here today. But today just got started. It's 10:30. You've only been open today for an hour. You got another 6 hours to go before the stock market closes. Forex market closes at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and the crypto market closes at 8 p.m. So 8 p.m. is a new daily range. That's when the daily range starts. It'd be dependent on that stuff. But right now everything looks bad still, but it is a potential that we are putting in the low of the week. And if that's the case, then maybe you should be looking for longs on Bitcoin still. Because you still didn't do shit on Bitcoin. What is this nonsense? Am I long? I better be long. I'm not long. Of course not. I got stopped out. I still don't like it long because, like I said, you still got a long day's worth of trading. On this asset, you got all the way to 8 p.m. before you close the day. But that looks like, look at this. You're back to being bullish on the day, man. So you could still potentially take long entries on Bitcoin 19,794.58. $19,794. That is on the Coinbase exchange. That is daily support. You're back above it. I don't know if you stay above it, but you are back above it now. Bitcoin's low of the week is here. This week. Also, a big level that's going to come into factor, or has been, is monthly support, right? We're potentially looking for a monthly low, guys, because it's 6 days into September. And since Bitcoin has been trading lower for the first week of September, we could be seeing a low right now. This could potentially be the low of September, which is why I was looking for that liquidation of this weekly low to be the low. We didn't get it, but I mean, damn, man. There's a good chance that the low on the week is in. This right here could be the low of the week, right there. As long as you're closing dailies above $19,794, you could watch that price for potential bullish entries. And all the data that we went over early this morning suggests, right? It suggests. It's not set in stone. It's not a guaranteed fact, Mr. TAS 555. It's not a guaranteed fact, but it suggests we're going to be looking for higher prices on Bitcoin. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be an asshole to you specifically, but I am. When you stop being an asshole to me, I'll stop being an asshole to you. There's the put to call ratio, though. We got to keep that in mind. They're looking for September to be lower, right? But we can pretty much tell where these assholes are wrong, right? Right here. This is when the spike started. This day is when people started buying puts. Why were they buying puts as price went lower? I don't know. They're not the smartest group of people out there, I guess, but typically, you want to see puts getting bought at the highs for that potential market direction change. But right here, what is that day? 28th of August. Where are we? I can do you one better than that. You get above this right here, all those puts are going to start losing money. Unless they're sold. It's open interest. It doesn't mean that it's put buys. It doesn't mean that they're looking for downside. It just means that there's a heavy interest in puts, whether it's being sold, and it makes sense if it is being sold, because if they're selling puts, then they expect price to go higher. If they're buying puts, they expect it to go lower. Bingo. I don't even know if that's a ticker, Brian. No, it's not. Oh, I guess it is. No. Bingo, AMD, gotcha. Yeah, it could be the weekly low. I mean, there's not a bad idea in buying calls above 78.52. Buy 78.52 calls. But if today continues lower and you start to get under, you're going to be losing money on that trade. But if you think this is the weekly low, then buy 78.52 calls. Just one of them. Because if you're right, buy it 3 weeks out. Expiration, 3 weeks out. The longer out, the more expensive it's going to be. But the longer out your expiration is, the less time decay you will see on that position. Because options they're priced on a lot of different aspects. They're not just priced on price, right? They're priced on time decay. They're priced on delta. They're priced on everything. So if you buy this week's expiration, you might lose money even if you're right on the direction. So if you're looking for this to be this week's low, buy 3 to 4 weeks out. That way you can sit in the position as long as you're above 78.52. If you're under it, then you think about closing it. How much money do you want to lose, right? Because you're at 79.21 right now. So if you do buy 78.50s, I don't know if you can buy 78.50s. I don't have the option chain up. Hang on, let me go get my laptop. Let's see if we can get this beast pulled up real quick. We'll get them expirations for AMD. It takes a minute to load up, but we'll see what happens. If it'll even come on. It might be dead. I don't have Thinkorswim loaded up on my streaming computer, my desktop. Because usually at 10 o'clock, I'm done in the office, right? I shut the office down. I put my laptop with me, and then if I take option positions, then I watch them on the laptop. Because I'm not in the office after 10:30 usually. We're going long today. It is coming on. Just give me a second. Let me see what he's saying. He's already hit me 5 times. $100 days out. That's not bad. Just trying to make 3% daily scalp. That's not bad. 100 days out, that's good because that means your premium is going to stay intact for at least a few days. You won't see as much of a change in those option prices, in other words. If you guys are trying to take day trades with this week's expiration, you're going to lose money. It's as simple as that. Because you're gonna lose money on premium. Each day that goes by, you're losing money, regardless if you're in the right direction or not. What the hell is all this shit? Probably take it 35 minutes to load up, but I am interested in looking at some calls. If this is going to be the weekly low. Let me pull up Bitcoin here. See, there's several, like right now, Bitcoin's difficult because you got several intraday levels to watch. But that's going to be the main daily level to watch. But you see how you got all these lower intraday, hourly supports? Right? You got so many of them. Oh, what's this? All this shit's popping up. Why? Alright, Thinkorswim is installing updates. It takes a while. I don't know why I haven't got it on this PC yet. I just kind of like the fact that I have it on the laptop. We don't really discuss option premium here. That's beyond the scope of these live streams. I know people do like trading options, though. I do too. That's basically the only way I trade stocks. Occasionally I'll buy penny stock shares, but I'm trading stocks. I'm trading options. Options, baby. It's loading. Just give me a second and then we'll wrap this video up for the 50 of you that are still here. I'm trying to see where AMD calls are, and we'll check SPY calls as well. I can't show you, but I can get them for you. So we want AMD. Waiting for data. Alright, 100 days out. So you bought October 21st calls. Those aren't even weeklies, so that's also good. That means, I don't know, so on 100 days out, you can only buy $5. So you can only buy $80 or $75 calls. So buy the $75 strike. It'll cost you $415 for one contract right now. That's a $75 call. It's $4.10, $4.15. The price is changing because the market's open, but you could put the entry from $4.15 to $4.17. You'll get filled in the middle of the spread for the call potentially. The ask is $4.20, so that's typically they want you to be looking for prices higher than $4.20 to get a fill. But you could buy one for $420. And if you drop back under 78.52 on a daily closing basis, because if you got less than $25,000 in your account, then you're going to get hit with PDT. So if you buy that 100 days out, October 21st is the expiry. $75 is the call. It's just out of the money. Oh, sorry, no, I'm looking at the wrong thing. My bad. The calls are much more expensive. I was looking at puts. I had my display pulled up the wrong way. There we go, that's the right way. Oh yeah, much different. Yeah, $75 calls are $890. Much more expensive. That sounds better. So maybe don't go out 100 days. Maybe go out 30 days. 1 month is good. Alright, just a few weeks. And the calls, this way you can buy in increments of $1. So right now I'm looking at the October 7th expiration. The calls are much cheaper. $5.25 is the ask. So you could potentially get filled in between $5.15 and $5.25. So $500 would take you to buy one call of AMD, and you can buy it at $80 or $79. $79 is in the money, so it's going to be $5.75. But either way, if this is going to be the week's low, your price should start to trend away instantly. If you see price trading back down in here today, you might as well go ahead and exit that position. So that way you don't lose a lot. But you're not going to lose a lot of that $550 on just the time decay, right? Look at Bitcoin. That bastard. Oh, watch 19794 for potential bullish entries. Yep. Do the same thing on SPY. Here, let me pull up SPY calls and we'll be done. SPY calls. Let's see. We'll go out. Same expiration. 1 month out. It's going to be October the 3rd. Sorry. It's not the same expiration. October the 3rd. Those calls are much more expensive, so you're going to need, over $1,000 in your account just to buy one of them calls. You're looking at $900 for that position. But each dollar you move up is about $60 on the position. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you wouldn't have to go very far to double your money on calls. And then this is what it looks like intraday. You took out last week's low and look what happened. That is a bullish reaction. So basically what you want to see is you want to see it hold. You don't want to see it start to go back down there, because then it suggests that this is just a bounce because of you liquidating last week. Remember, anybody that got long last week at the close, what they thought was the low, if they got long there, boom, that's going to trigger a lot of sell orders. Getting a bounce like that could be suggestive that you'll see higher prices. But if you get back down to 390.04, then yeah, it's probably going to continue lower. But we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. You guys have a fantastic day. If you're not part of the Discord, you can leave a question in the comment section. I always read them and answer them. So if you got any questions, just hit me up. I will respond probably before the day's out. So you guys have a fantastic day. We will see you again Thursday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. For the Discord, we'll be live tomorrow, of course. But for, YouTube, we just do Tuesdays and Thursdays. Have a fantastic day. Make sure you guys trade safe. Make sure you trade smart. And as always, happy trading.